All right, thanks, guys. The Orioles take on the Padres, 3:40 Eastern first pitch in San Diego. No line currently posted for this game. We have Tom Eshelman for Baltimore, Danielson Lamet for the Padres. Now, Eshelman comes into this game for the Orioles with an 0-2 record, 5.79 ERA, and a 1.45 whip. Baltimore is tied for the most losses in Major League Baseball. They're 35-71 overall for the year. That's going to put them at 36 games under 500. They're also ranking dead last in runs allowed and last in walks allowed on the road. Nothing really more to break down in this one. I'm going to lean San Diego, winning this one outright for some money line cash. Next game, Giants taking on the Phillies, 7:05 Eastern first pitch at Citizens Bank Park in South Philly. Philadelphia's minus 130, totals at 10. We did see a nickel move toward the Phillies in the early wagering. No movement on the total as of yet. The Phillies open $1.25 up to 130, totals at 10. 51% of the consensus is leaning toward the Giants. 57% shaded toward the over. Right now, San Fran is plus 120 on the money line. Phillies plus $1.55 on the run line. We have Tyler Beede for the Giants, Drew Smyly for the Phils. Tyler Beede comes into this game with a 3-4 record for the Giants. He also has a 4.85 ERA and a 1.48 whip. The Giants have dropped 6 out of their last 9 taking on the Phils. They're also 0-6 in their last 6 ball games played at Citizens Bank Park. The Giants rank 25th in scoring, 27th in hits. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Phillies are 3rd in offensive walks at home. They're also 6-3 in their last 9 ball games. They're only 1 game back in that second wild card spot in the National League. They're also 29-15 as the official home favorite. Now, total-wise, the Giants are 13-3 to the over following a day off. They're also 63% to the over, taking on teams between 460 and 540. I'm going to lean Phillies minus 130 in the over 10 runs in that game. Next matchup, Diamondbacks, Yankees, 7:05 New York. The Yankees are minus 210, totals 11.5. Not a whole lot of movement on the money line in this one. Little move up, little move down. We're still at that opening number. We did see a little bit of movement upward on the total, however. Once again, the Yankees are minus 210, total open 11 up to 11.5. 71% are leaning Yankees, 52% shaded toward the under. Right now, the D-backs are plus 190 on the money line. The Yankees are minus 130 on the run line. We have Taylor Clark for the D-backs, Jay Happ for the Yankees. Happ's 8-5 with 87 strikeouts in just 103 innings. Meanwhile, Taylor Clark on the other side for the Diamondbacks, 3-3 on the year, 6.10 ERA, and a 1.53 whip. The Diamondbacks have dropped 6 out of their last 9 ball games. They're also winning just 25% of their games at the current market price. The Yankees on the other side, first in the AL East, 5-1 in their last 6 at home. They also rank 2nd in offensive scoring on average per game. Now, total-wise, the Yankees are 6-2 to the under in their last 8 taking on the Diamondbacks. They're also 33-22 to the under at home. I'm going to lean Yankees minus 1.5 and the under 11.5 in that matchup there. Next game, Braves Nationals, 7:05 Washington. The Nats are minus 155, totals 9.5. At the moment, the Braves are plus 135 on the money line. We have Julio Teheran for the Braves, Eric Fetty for the Nats. Fetty comes into this game with a 1-1 record, 3.40 ERA. Meanwhile, Teheran on the other side for the Braves, just 5-7 on the year, 1.28 whip. The Nationals are 10-4 in their last 14 in Washington. They're also 9th in hits allowed on average per game, 5th in striking batters out. The Nats are only 4.5 games back of Atlanta for the division lead in the NL East. They are 8 games over 500 at 57-49 overall for the year. And they're actually just they're a half a game ahead in that first wild card spot in the National League. So they got it locked up right now. If the season were to end, they would be in. Now the D-backs on the other side, winners in just 4 out of their last dozen. They also rank 29th in walks allowed on average per game. That's second to last in Major League Baseball. And when it comes to the total, the D-backs are 13-6 to the under in their last 19 ball games. The Nats on the other side, 14-5 to the under in their last 19 themselves. I'm going to lean Nationals minus 155 and the under 9.5 runs in that game. Next matchup, Twins, Marlins, 7-10 Miami. The Twins are minus 150, totals at 8. We saw a nickel fade of Minnesota and movement downward on the total. The Twins open 155 down to minus 150. Total open 8.5 down to 8 flat. 71% are leaning Twins, 61% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Marlins are plus 135 on the money line. The Twins are plus $1 on the run line. We have Jake Odorizzi for the Twins, Zach Gallen for the Marlins. Odorizzi comes into this game for Minnesota with an 11-5 record, just a 3.84 ERA and a 1.20 WHIP. Jake Odorizzi also has 108 strikeouts in just 103 innings. The Twins are second in road scoring, first in road hits. They're 33-20 when traveling. They're also 42-25 as the official favorite. The Marlins on the other side, they have the most losses in the National League, 63 of them. They're officially 22 games under 500 at just 41-63 overall for the year. They're 29th in scoring, which is second to last in Major League Baseball. They're also 28th in hits on average per game. Now, total-wise, the Marlins are 63% to the over at home when the line was 8 to 8.5. The Twins are 32-21 to the over when traveling. I'm going to lean Minnesota Twins minus 150 and the over 8 runs in that matchup there. Next game, Astros, Indians, 7-10 Cleveland. The Astros are minus 130, totals 8.5. We saw a nickel move toward the Astros, no movement on the total as of yet. Houston opened $1.25 up to minus 130, totals 8.5. 61% are leaning Astros, 51% shaded toward the over. Right now, Cleveland is plus 120 on the money line. The Astros are plus $1.30 on the run line. We have Justin Verlander for the Astros, Shane Bieber for the Indians. Now, Verlander's 13-4 for the Astros this year. He also has a 2.86 ERA and a very low 0.84 WHIP. He also has 183 strikeouts in just 144 innings. Houston has the most wins in the American League. They are 68-39 overall for the year. I guess they surpassed, I guess after this weekend's series with Boston, New York Yankees and Boston Red Sox, I guess Houston overtook that. It was the Yankees for the longest time there. I'll have to double check that. But as far as I have it in my notes, it looks like Houston has the most wins in the American League at 68 wins. They're probably just a game ahead of the Yankees for that particular crown. But anyway, the way I have it written down here, Astros, most wins in the American League, 68-39 overall for the year, 8th in scoring, 5th in road hits. The Astros are first in hits allowed and first in striking batters out. Now the Indians on the other side, winners in just 9 out of 21 games as the official Vegas underdog. The Indians also ranked 22nd in offensive hits on average per game. Now, total-wise, Cleveland is 5-0 to the over in their last 5 at home, taking on the Astros. I'm going to lean toward the road favorite in this one. Give me Houston minus 130 and the over 8.5 runs in that game. Next matchup, Tampa Bay taking on Boston. 7:10 Eastern first pitch at Fenway. Boston's minus 130, totals at 9. We saw a 15-cent fade of Boston in the early wagering. Not a whole lot of movement on the total as of yet. The Red Sox open 145 down to 130. Totals at 9. 59% are leaning Boston, 55% shaded toward the over. Right now the Rays are plus 120 on the money line. Boston plus a $1.45 on the run line. We have Charlie Morton for the Rays, David Price for the Red Sox. Now Morton comes into this game for the Tampa Bay Rays with a 12-3 record, 2.60 ERA, and a 1.04 WHIP. Tampa Bay also has, they're 32-22 away from home. And one more thing to add about Morton real quick. He's got 163 strikeouts and just 131 innings pitched. So keep that in mind as well. Once again, Tampa Bay 32-22 away from home. Pretty good road team. They're also 6-3 in their last 9 taking on Boston. The Rays are first in runs allowed on the road, third in striking batters out in that same category. Now the Red Sox on their side of things, they're just 27-26 at Fenway this year. They've also covered just 20 out of 53 games at home. Of course, when I refer to covering, the spread, all that good stuff, I'm actually referring to the run line. So once again, Boston, they only cashed in 20 out of their last 53 run line plays at home. The Red Sox are also just 23rd in runs allowed at home and 29th in walks allowed at home. A lot of free passes for the Red Sox opponents in Fenway. Once again, 29th in walks allowed at home. That is second to last in Major League Baseball. Now, total-wise, Boston is 6-1 to the over in their last 7. They're also 33-20 to the over at home. The Rays on the other side, 4-2 to the over in their last 6. I'm going to lean toward the road dog in this one. Give me Tampa Bay plus 1.5 and the over 9 runs in that game. Next matchup, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, 7-10 Cincinnati. The Reds are minus 125, totals 9.5. We saw a 15-cent fade of the Reds in the early going here. Cincy opened 140 down to 125, totals 9.5. 54% are leaning toward the Reds, 57% shaded toward the over. Right now the Pirates are plus 115 on the money line. The Reds plus a $1.50 on the run line. We have Joe Musgrove for the Pirates, Tanner Roark for the Reds. Roark comes into this game with a 6-6 record, 3.95 ERA. He also has 106 strikeouts and just 107 innings pitched. Now Musgrove on the other side for the Pirates, 7-9 record, 4.29 ERA, 1.21 WHIP. The Reds are 5-2 in their last 7, 5th in runs allowed, 4th in striking batters out. The Reds are also 21-13 as the favorite. They're winning 62% of their games as the official home favorite. The Pirates on the other side, coldest team in Major League Baseball. They have lost their last 9 straight. They've also dropped 15 out of their last 17 ball games. Now, total-wise, Cincy is 33-20 to the under at home. I'm going to lean Cincinnati minus 125 and the under 9.5 runs in that game.